Wanted to take a little break from the fan videos there to avoid a little bit of monotony and talk about clocks. I've been doing a lot of back and forth conversation in the comment section on some of the other videos with "Hey guys, it's your buddy Greg," and wanted to touch upon a few things that might help him out and others out working on Westclox clocks. And I've got this America movement here in front of me to demonstrate. And the first thing I want to talk about is letting the springs down and let down keys. I would suggest, they're not very expensive, suggest getting a let down key tool. And they'll come with a set of double-ended keys like this. They're marked. There'll usually be a 10 and a 12, a 8 and a 7, and a 5 and a 6, and then of course the handle. And they also make an insert with a slot that's an alarm clock adapter for fitting over the wings of an alarm clock key. And for a lot of alarm clock keys, I guess that would probably work. There's a Big Ben time key off, I think that's off of style 6. There's a Baby Ben key. There's another Baby Ben key. Here's the broken remains of an earlier style Big Ben key from a style 5 and earlier, and obviously a key that's slotted on the end that would fit over one of these wings is not going to work with that style wing there. And it's not going to work with these keys used on the America alarm clocks either. There's the time side and there's the alarm side. So what I suggest doing, and this is an argument also for why you buy every alarm clock you can, even though they might be junk, is because you can never have enough of this stuff here when you really need it. I've got a couple non-West, this is supposed to be all Westclox parts, but occasionally non-Westclox stuff makes its way in there. Like there's the deal out of a striking clock. Most of this is Westclox. I think that's that's out of an Ingraham clock there. But you just buy as much of it as you can. You know, obviously don't pay more than a couple bucks, more than $5 for a broken alarm clock. But if you keep doing that, though, you end up with parts that are just worth it to have. Case, extra glass, dial, complete movements, things like that. Then you can swap parts around to improve the deficiencies on good complete clocks, or have extras, so you have a mainspring break or something. So anyway, getting back to the main topic of this video, the letting the spring down. That's the first step always in taking a clock apart, is you don't want to just push on the tail of this click and let the spring down all at once. It will damage the spring. A perfectly good spring, it would damage it. Might cause damage to the click. I don't like the idea of the slot sticking over the key thing. So what I did was I used some broken keys, like the other, this is the alarm side, the time side key for the clock that this came off of, I used to make this. I just cut the handle off where someone had brazed it back together and filed the side square so that it would fit one of these letdown keys, And in this case, it fits the number 12. So screw this on here. Just so happens the time sight on an America and a Big Ben is the same size. So now it's as though this clock has a square winding post. And in fact, I could use a conventional number 12 key now to wind this clock with that adapter in place. But the primary purpose of that isn't to be able to do that. It's to be able to stick the letdown key on there like this, and then to be able to control, and it's something I can't do with one hand here. To be able to let this down in a very controlled manner. Wish I had a tripod. Okay, so what I'm going to do is turn this in the direction of the winding and hold the ratchet off with the other hand, and now I can very easily and controllably let the spring down, so there's no power there at all now. See, now it's let down. And then of course this one here is for the alarm side on a conventional Big Ben loud alarm movement. There's the alarm great wheel. It's just screws on there like the key would. Now we have a very safe way to let the spring down. Of course, on the alarms, it's also not that big of a deal. You can just, usually you can just let the alarm run down. Usually not stuck. On the America clocks, like this one, the alarm side is the same thread size as a Baby Ben key for a Baby Ben that uses a key like this. So you could do the same thing. I would use if I could, I would use a longer shank key, or pick a broken key or something as appropriate. But it's going to be very small, and you'll have to file it to use probably the number 5 end to make that work. But then you would have a way to let that down also, the same way. And you could use it on a Baby Ben, the exact same width as the alarm bridge. So, some of the best tools that you can get are the ones that you make yourself. And all I really did was I used the broken keys and a couple of files. I use this big file here to rapidly take metal off to get it dressed down to about the right size. And then I used some smaller files like these here to get it closer and to sort of, I didn't take any time doing it. I did it real quick, and you could spend more time on it and make it a lot nicer, but I just kept filing it until it fit the letdown tool. That's all you really need to do. Works just fine. So I think that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say. So